Remember when a lot of you went and thumbed down my video on the subject of the Sound of Freedom movie and how a lot of it was completely fabricated and nonsense, and how this doesn't actually prove anything about the Democratic Party allegedly being involved in child trafficking when there's no evidence of it whatsoever? Well, it turns out one of the major financial contributors to it, Fabian Marta, has been arrested on felony child kidnapping charges. Now, I want you to take a moment and appreciate the irony of this. That while you were getting mad at me for pointing out the major flaws in this, I get to turn around and point the one doth protest too much kind of thing, because he was a major contributor to the financial status of the movie. Now, Marta's name does actually appear in the film among the investors who helped bring the Sound of Freedom to the theaters. St. Louis Metropolitan Police confirmed it to Newsweek that Marta, 51, from Chesterfield, Missouri, was charged on July 21st and was arrested on July 23rd. Police also provided a booking photo of Marta, which appears to show the same person pictured on a Facebook account of the same name. Screenshots have since removed posts from multiple online sources seen by Newsweek, but which could not be independently verified, show Marta speaking about his involvement with the film. The Sound of Freedom movie tackles a very tough subject and took extraordinary effort to bring to movie theaters. I'm proud to have been one small part of it. If you see the movie, look for Fabian Marta and family at the very end of the credits. Fabian Marta and family appear on the list of funding contributors to the film's credits around the 129 minutes and 30 seconds into its runtime. Now, in the state of Missouri, child kidnapping is a Class A felony, which means he could be looking at 10 years in prison if convicted. And this is all very much a he who doth protest too much. This is very much along the lines of those who say that the LGBT are trying to collect your children, to groom your children, etc. And yet, those we find actually doing it, getting caught doing it, and then getting prosecuted for doing it, are those who are loudest screaming, claiming that's what LGBT does. You know, that whole kind of thing. And it's rather cathartic to see that all those people who were so angry that I had made that video and said, yeah, just because you have this story, which apparently a bunch of it, that being the Sound of Freedom, was actually completely fabricated, among, like, even one of the victims saying that they had freed themselves. They hadn't actually been freed by the guy or his organization. And all of this was supposed to be presented as evidence of how the Democratic Party supposedly traffics children according to the QAnon conspiracy theory, when in reality, stuff that there's actually evidence of, because, you know, generally speaking, they don't charge individuals unless they have some kind of evidence, because generally if there's no evidence, they'll throw it out. And no, you're not going to be able to turn around and say, oh, Jason Unruhe suddenly believes in the court system now. No, I really don't, because he is kind of just a regular everyday guy, and QAnon, the whole entire conspiracy, isn't something that's really all that pro-state. I mean, it's not something that's even big enough to even really get targeted for, considering the whole thing is complete and utter nonsense, fabricated insanity out of absolutely nothing. And once again, we see the raging hypocrisy of those who scream about, won't somebody please think of the children, the most are the ones who actually are the threat to it. Every one of these evangelical pastors, every one of these holier-than-thou politicians who claim that the left is doing this or that, and they're actually pointing at liberals, but they don't actually know the difference between the two, because it's all about scaring you into voting for them, are actually the ones that are the problem to begin with. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to just say, I kind of told you so, but I kind of also didn't. So what I want you to do is to go into that space below the video right there and immediately thumb down the video to show how angry you are at me saying this, rather than acknowledge that a lot of the garbage that you threw at me in the previous video was complete nonsense, like claiming I said the movie said the Democratic Party did this, when I never said that. I said that the people who put this movie together claim this is how the Democrats are doing this. You know, that same kind of dishonesty where you have to twist everything in order to make it appear as though you're right when you really have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. So please, by all means, express your raging butthurt by going into that space below, hitting the thumbs down, and leaving a comment insulting me, saying, making up things that I didn't say, all the rest that you usually do because you're butt mad, because you're wrong. Good night. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.